Resistance fighters in Myanmar have been winning battles against the ruling military junta in clashes across the country, leading many to believe that the government could be at risk of collapsing. But last week, the military said it had recaptured the town of Myawaddy on Myanmar's eastern border with Thailand, sparking concerns the conflict could escalate. DW interviewed the foreign affairs representative of the National Unity Government of Myanmar. That's the country's opposition government in exile.
It's one of the world's most violent ongoing conflicts. Since the 2021 military coup, at least 50,000 people have been killed in Myanmar. Now, 3 years into a civil war, there are no signs of it abating. In early April, the town Myawaddy, an important transit point for the flow of goods between Thailand and Myanmar, fell under the control of a rebel ethnic minority group. But as of late April, Myawaddy was back under the junta's control. The situation remains volatile. The foreign minister of Myanmar's opposition group, the National Unity Government, in an interview with DW, accused the military junta of targeting civilians in the battle.
They are losing, they are desperate, so that is fine. They don't even able to discriminate whether it is civilian or military target. They are definitely intentionally targeted to the civilian population because they are desperate and they are losing.
The situation in Myanmar remains enormously complex, with resistance groups opposed to the junta at times also fighting each other. Elsewhere, there's particular concern for the Rohingya people in Myanmar's northern Rakhine state.
The military is the one who creating the problem, who committed crime against humanity, and who creating the hate and dividing the community. So they are also using that kind of tactic in Rakhine states. They also using Rohingya as like a human shield.
Rohingya Muslims have been at the center of a humanitarian crisis, with some 700,000 forced to flee to Bangladesh after a brutal 2017 crackdown by the military.
I also appreciate that European Union round of sanctions to the military junta, which is really good and economic and diplomatic pressure for the military junta. But at the same time, we also need humanitarian assistance for those who are suffering on the ground, because as we mentioned that there are more and more refugees are in creating because of the military junta. So
the 2017 military crackdown is now subject of a genocide investigation at the International Court of Justice.
Let's get more on this story now from Dr.Yanghee Lee in Seoul, South Korea. She's a founding member of the Special Advisory Council for Myanmar, which advocates on behalf of the country's democratic movement. Thanks for being with us. Professor, tell us about the situation on the ground in Myanmar. Do you know who actually has the upper hand in the conflict, the military junta or the resistance forces?
Well, I heard your interview with Dozima Ong, who's not just a member of the opposition, she is the foreign minister of the National Unity Government. As she said, the junta is losing. And we've done research in 2022 about the effective control of Myanmar and have found really surprising results. And even Min Aung Hlaing said that the junta only exercises about 30% of control. But since the time that we did the report, we're doing a follow-up, and we found even more surprising results. Not only did the junta lose most of its international borders to China, Thailand, and India, it has lost some more areas that's facing closer to the heartland of Myanmar. So the effective control is not just territorial control, it's the nature of how one can govern a township or a state. The junta has not been able to govern for a while. And so they're now resorting to more barbaric atrocities against the civilian population of Myanmar.
Now, the violence in Myanmar is having a huge impact on civilians. Are they able to access humanitarian assistance when needed?
No, because the international government, most of the international government, international community is channeling through the junta, which they should not be channeling through the junta, because it would only reach the people that are under the junta control, mostly their military and their family. Most of the territory is now under the ethnic revolutionary forces. They're no longer regarded as the rebel groups anymore. There's been less fighting between the ethnic armed groups now because they have now joined hands and in alignment with the national unity government for the aspiration, fulfilling the aspiration of the people of Myanmar for a free, democratic, federal Myanmar. Mm-hmm. So the most needed aid is not reaching the people in dire need. What the international community must do is to channel these assistance cross-border through the ethnic networks. They've been doing this for decades, and they have the know-how, they have the skills, they have the connections. And if the aid goes through the borders, it can even get channeled into central Myanmar and into Yangon.
Dr. Yanghee Lee, thank you very much for your insights there. That was Dr. Lee from the Special Advisory Council for Myanmar.
Now let's get more on the situation in Myanmar from the journalist Tintin Neo. She is the managing director of Burma News International and joins us now from Bangkok. Tintin, do you think the pro-democracy groups and the resistance forces can actually overthrow the government in Myanmar?
It is difficult to say exactly. However, starting from last year, October 27, after the Three Brotherhood Alliance launched the military offensive, we can see that it is really, we can see some kind of hope that we can overthrow the military junta. Because after that, more than 300 military key posts and also there are important places has been taken by the resistant groups. And also from the first of the military coup until now, it's more than 6,000 military personnel has been captured by the resistant groups. And also we can see that from different kinds of events, the military personnel of the military junta, they are losing their willingness to fight against the resistant groups. And also they are emotionally affected from all the all the killing and all the life have been losing during the fighting. So we see that these are quite impactful when it's come to throwing the military junta. At the same time, we can see that from the alliance cooperative attack, we can see when we work together, we can win and we can succeed. So the only thing is all the resistant groups have to work together and then also fight against the military junta. So this may show that we can definitely overthrow the military junta. Yeah.
Now, how credible are the opposition's allegations that the military junta targets civilians?
That is when this come to responses from the military junta, it was very crucial and very risky for the civilian because they normally use an airstrike and also artillery shelling. That is also very much targeted to the civilian infrastructure and also villages, and not just doing shelling and also bombing, but also burning villages, houses, and like that. So these are one of the cruelest way of responding against the coordinated attack operated by the resistant groups. So that's why even within a month, in April alone, it is already created about 15,000 IDPs. Now that the IDPs population reached to more than 3 million. So that is really dreadful kind of like an impact out of the bombing and also the burning and also artillery shelling conducted by the military junta.
The journalist, Tintin Neal, the Managing Director of Burma News International, thank you very much.
Thank you.